School Wi-Fi, fixing trash Chromebooks, managing Aeries and Canvas. I'm Alexander Dao with New Media Lit, bringing you this piece on our school's infamous IT department. A few weeks ago, we took a survey on people's thoughts of the department and what they do, and out of the responses we got, those were the most common thoughts students at Los Altos had about the IT department. One of the biggest ones, however, has been Los Altos' Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi.
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 School Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi. It is bad.
My first year here, they would have a paper backup plan just in case, and you really didn't know from day to day or period to period whether it would go out.
Wi-Fi. As a junior who's been here 3 years and seen the Wi-Fi go up and down countless times, I'm not surprised that this popped up. Now, considering that the IT department has little reputation among students as they tend to work behind the scenes, we decided to interview and dispel some common myths about them and take the time to go into the day of their life and work.
There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that the average staff member and student will never know. Anything that you think about when it comes to terms of technology, somehow we touch it, and it's our responsibility to keep all systems up and running at all times.
Some of the improvements the IT department planned to implement include several specific categories. For example, the wiring for Wi-Fi access points, the configuration of those access points, and the constant maintenance of the district's servers and fiber links.
Right now in the Eagle Theater, there used to be one wireless access point in the past. There's 6 in here now. So there shouldn't be a reason why you're not connecting to Wi-Fi in a very consistent fashion. Some of that wiring that goes from, a classroom back to the data closet, some of that wire is like 15 to 20 years old. So when we're buying newer wireless access points with the best technology, we also need to then go back and upgrade that wiring so we're getting the best performance. So that's what we're working on this summer through a federal program called E-Rate, which gives us money that we have to pay a percentage of it, but we have about 40% of it paid through the federal government to help schools subsidize that cost.
There are also other improvements to technology on campus too. For example, improved laser projectors that need less maintenance, the ability for a teacher to screen share to a projector, or reliable security systems at school which detect illegal activity on campus and provide evidence for law enforcement on an as-needed basis.
We are in charge of all systems, so think about your average classroom. We're talking the teacher computer, all the Chromebooks or devices you're using. There's a wireless access point in every single classroom. There's some type of projection. There's sound in that classroom. There could be a document camera, a DVD player. We are responsible for not only maintaining that, but also suggesting the best educationally focused tools to make it easier for the teachers to use and make the learning environment better for students. Some of the things we're doing in terms of classroom technology alone, when we are upgrading the projection, we're putting in laser projectors. So laser projectors are a much clearer image for everybody to see. Teachers can leave their lights on and their drapes up. They can still see it really well. We have one computer support specialist here to take care of the entire campus. That's a lot of work. On a traditional projector that had a bulb, our technician would have to replace that bulb and clean a filter. So going to a laser projection system, there's no maintenance on it. We also just started putting in wireless projection systems, an adapter onto our projectors, so teachers can project wirelessly from anywhere in their classroom. They can project from an iPad if they're marking things up, and eventually we're going to allow students to also project to those. So if you're doing group work or you want to present from your seat up to the screen, we're going to be providing that as well. We're also putting in distributed audio systems in classrooms, which are designed for education, nice even distribution of sound wherever you are through one speaker. Teachers have the ability to wear a microphone if they want. When we're wearing masks, we're losing up to 10 decibels of sound. So, when we come back in August, it's very possible we will still be wearing masks on campus. So we want to make sure students can hear. If you can't hear in the classroom, you can't learn. You're not going to know what's going on. We just want to make classroom technology easy to use for our teachers, because in turn, then they'll be able to deliver the best instruction for the students.
It's understandable then that with so much to juggle between a Wi-Fi outage or a teacher's projector or a computer breaking down before one of their lessons or the cameras catching a freshman smoking pot in the bathroom, it's no wonder that the IT department ends up missing a spot or two.
As you know, we had a hiccup on the network, which you're probably up and down. That was actually a Comcast issue, but people don't know that, so they're thinking, what's the MVLA IT department doing?
Earlier last year, there was a ransomware attack on the district that infected a large portion of MVLA's computers. They're all wiped, but that caused a loss of sensitive data. Typically, with ransomware attacks, you're forced to pay a sum of money for your data to be unlocked, and oftentimes that data is never unlocked by the hackers even if you pay the ransom. The sensitive data was lost, but is that a concern for us as students? What if some of that sensitive data the hackers accessed include information regarding us? As students, we're only known by our student IDs and not our names and identities, but does that not mean that we're safe from our data being stolen or from our data being accessed by hackers?
Past practices that need to be improved were endpoint protection or malware protection on devices that was not consistent across the district. So we now run a program called Cisco AMP, AMP, that stands for Advanced Malware Protection. All staff, all labs, everything has it now. And that will prevent from the ransomware or any kind of attack from the outside, but we are relying on that software and the upgrades to that software to help us prevent that. We will also be putting something into place this summer. Right now, when you all get onto the network, it's LAHS Student. You will, in the fall when you come back, you will be on a network called MVLA. And you will log in with your student, just like you log into your Gmail account. And there'll be a piece of software that looks, if you're using your own MacBook, it'll make sure you are running endpoint protection or malware protection on your device. Otherwise, we won't let you on the network. We need to know who's on our network. And right now with LAHS Student and everybody in the world knowing the password, it's not secure. So you could give that password out to 20 people and they might not even be a Los Altos high school student. They can be on our network. Obviously, we'll have a guest network in certain areas for community members when they're on campus, say they're in the theater on a Friday night and they want to connect during intermission. But we need to know who's on our network and we need to know what devices on our network because we need to be safe. Other things we're responsible for in terms of the network is our school here, Los Altos, has 40 plus video safety cameras. School safety is the number one priority of any district. So we have to keep our network running in order to keep those cameras running. We want all of our students and staff to be in the most safe environment. We just upgraded them while you were all at home learning and distance learning environment. So everything is up in the cloud now and we can get to that from anywhere. I could check it from my phone, from my iPad, and we can clip footage. We can share that footage with school officials, with law enforcement if we have to, in case there's a safety issue on campus.
The current tech budget allotted to Los Altos is $1.5 million, with half of it being deployed to students already. Inventory is taken on a student or staff ID basis and is scanned into a database which lists which student or staff ID has what items. New projectors, voice projection systems, Wi-Fi access points, laptops, TVs, and other educational tools are acquired by the IT department, and they often even make suggestions to the district about new technologies they feel are helpful to teachers. They've also been given federal funding to acquire more technology for the district, which makes the possibility of even more new technology to augment Los Altos students' educational experience even further.
Every computer, projector, things checked out to a classroom, to staff, we have that in a very comprehensive database. The other thing we're responsible for is a technology budget. So we need to make sure we know when a device is coming to the end of its life, so we budget accordingly and are able to get staff and students a updated device. But those are the kind of things we're doing, and I'm not sure if students give it a lot of thought. It's just something to expect.
The IT department does much more than we as students give them credit for. Maybe they're just covering up for themselves right now since they're on camera, but as we continue to speak to them, they really seem to have an idea of what they're doing. The floor plans they have for distributing Wi-Fi service across the district seem solid, and their goal of servicing everyone as best they can is a very admirable goal. They're not a perfect department. Everyone's frustrated when tech doesn't work and they can't fix it immediately, but students should give them more credit for what they do for us.
You're a community member, your parents pay taxes, which contribute to our school. We have a very generous foundation, so it's incumbent upon us can provide the very best network. And that is our intention, and we're going to continue working. And we want to continue to earn your trust.